So, Troy, today we are talking about the worst episodes of Doctor Who ever. Are you excited?
Ooh, I'm intrigued. I want to hear all of the bad episodes people think they are, and then we can refute them all and tell them all why they're wrong.
All right, well, let's listen to one before we get going, hey? See what happens.
That's different. I'm in. What have we got?
We've got Dave here. What does Dave have to say?
Okay.
The Crimson Horror. It's weird, you know?
The Crimson Horror is weird, you know?
Bro kept it to the point. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say it right. He's supposed to say the Crimson Horror.
Yeah, the Crimson Horror.
The Crimson Horror.
Well, that's just a taste of what you can expect today, everyone.
Do you agree with it, Crispy?
No. Gosh, no.
Well, maybe we should find out why. But first, roll the intro. Welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Troy, his name is Crispy, and we're the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. And today, our calls are all about the worst episodes of Doctor Who. Or should I say worst episode? Because our call this week was to get you to name your single least favourite episode of the show. Crispy, you ready to debate some worst episodes?
I think so. I'm a bit nervous because
I am too.
what if they say an episode I like? What if, I don't agree with the audience? I've never not agreed with our audience.
Yeah, you people pleaser.
It's true. It's true. I am
Yeah.
a people pleaser.
I feel like I'm a bit like that as well. Today we need to turn on the mean switches. We need to flick the switch and just be really rude to our audience. They'll come back if we're bullying them. It doesn't matter.
Maybe. We'll see.
They
We
will, or they'll
see.
be in trouble. No, seriously.
Oh, I see.
I'm keen.
It
I want to see what
started
people are
early.
thinking. Because in my head, I've got some expectations for what episodes are going to pop up. And I'm intrigued to see if they do pop up or if they don't. Have you got any episodes leading into this you're expecting to hear a lot of?
Yes. I feel like Love and Monsters actually won't appear.
Yeah,
Weirdly
I wonder if
enough,
people
I
are
feel
getting
like-
a bit nicer, yeah.
I feel like over time people are getting a bit more lenient towards Love and Monsters.
Good.
But I think that maybe Orphan 55 will pop up a few times.
If it doesn't happen today, I'm going to take the lid off of my cup of cordial and chug the whole thing back, however much is in there, and that could be a fun challenge for the end.
If it
much
isn't
is in
in
here?
Orphan 50,
Yeah, if we don't hear Orphan 55, there is currently... Oh, God, there's 2/3 of the drink in there. That was a bad idea. I'm going to drink some of it during the episode, but I will. I'll chug it if I don't hear Orphan
Excellent.
55. I'm putting it on the line. There we go.
Okay, there we go. That's a bit of tension that will keep people watching throughout the whole
Oh, it
thing.
will. It will.
Oh,
But let's
I'm
have our
very,
first
very
call.
excited.
Sorry.
Oh.
Second caller.
Second call.
Because
Don't forget
Dave
about
already told us
Dave.
the Crimson Aura, but...
The what? What was the episode,
Crimson Aura.
sorry?
The Crimson
The
Aura.
Crimson Aura.
And he was
The
wrong. I think,
Crimson.
just hot take, Series 7B, nowhere near as bad as people think it is. Sorry, just putting that out there. People seem to
It's
dunk
fun.
on it. I like it.
It's fun.
It's not peak Matt Smith, but it's really not bad.
He should have stayed on for Series 8.
Imagine. Oof. Oh.
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 Oh. Okay, who do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear from? So we got
I
a
would
lot
like
of callers
to
here
hear-
today.
Ooh. There's a lot of callers here. Good grief. A lot of different lengths as well. You're going into next week's episode, Crispy, that we're definitely not recording right after this. Why don't we scroll back
am I?
down so we can see the
Oops,
correct ones?
my
Yes,
bad.
yes, you silly goose. Let's have a look at Lockie. What's Lockie got to say?
Okay, Lockie, here we go.
For me, it's got to be Arachnids in the UK. It's just an episode that, no matter how many times I rewatch it and try to root for the Doctor, it's like I can't help but back the rich, evil billionaire over the Doctor, and that feels like it defeats the entire purpose of the show.
Wow. Elite pick, Lockie. Elite pick there. Gosh, I didn't
Yeah.
think about arachnids in the UK. I haven't thought about an episode since 2018, in all fairness.
Yeah.
But wow.
That's very
yeah.
true.
Only good bit about that episode, Troy, what is it?
Currently, I've
Oh,
been
gosh.
poisoned by hearing
Oh,
that
he's
take
been...
because I've got a
Oh,
cough.
no, he's dying. Oh, have some cordial, mate, but save some for the end.
I'm allergic to your horrible take.
I think it's a great take, Lockie. I think it's
I
a
do too. I
very,
was
very
just saying
good
that for the
take.
sake of a joke. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Doctor being like, hey, we shouldn't kill the spiders. How about we just leave them to choke and die instead? Like, that's not
That's the solution. That's the solution.
It's a solution, but it's kind of like a solution on the same bar as when you do a maths exam and someone says find X and they circle X on the diagram and go, here it is. It's not really a solution. Like, it's not really how
You're
that
not going to get a
works.
pass. You're not going to get a pass, but you did put down something, didn't you?
You're going to be resitting in an exam if you're pulling that stuff.
Yeah. But I think the only good part of that episode, Troy, is
Don't say Stormzy.
it's Stormzy.
No,
correct.
it's not.
5
No, it's
points
not.
to Troy. Well done. No, I think it is a flawed episode and probably showed some of the cracks of the Chibnall era a bit earlier. But I think the first 3 installments in the Chibnall era, I know people aren't the biggest fans of the Ghost Monument, but I was like, wow, this era is really shaping up to be something special. But I think Arachnids in the UK kind of highlights like the word, like the, I don't know. I don't think it's a terribly bad episode, but I think it just starts to show a bit of concern for Chibnall's era. That's what I'll say.
I would define the Ghost Monument, I don't know where I heard this before, but I would describe it as peak mid, where it's like the best
Peak
example of average Doctor Who. Like, it's just fine, it exists, whereas Arachnids in the UK is not, it's not good. It's not good.
No.
So, I'm
absolutely correct.
kind of with you on Ghost Monument, but like the first example of it not being good straight up, I would agree. Arachnids in the UK, definitely.
Okay. Very well. Hey, we'll shake on that. We'll shake on that. Hey.
I mean, I don't know how we're going to do that from across the planet, but...
Well, I mean, we just did it, mate. We just bloody did it.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Troy.
Amazing.
Do you have an episode in mind that is
I do,
your least
and-
favorite episode of Doctor Who?
Ladies and gentlemen, we very briefly discussed this before recording and then quickly realised we might have the same episode.
We
So
might.
let's wait. Let's wait until the recording. So I think we do a 3, 2, 1 go and both say our episodes.
Okay. We could do.
What do you think?
I'll go. You do the countdown, and we can do
All
that.
right. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. Fear Her.
Fear her.
Oh, my days.
No.
We're like 2 peas in her.
Fear her.
Crispy's internet is very...
Podcast.
2 peas in a podcast. That's amazing. I love that. I just put that together.
I can almost guarantee you there is a podcast out there called Two Peas in a Podcast. I can
I'm
almost
Googling it right
guarantee.
now. If there
All
isn't,
right.
then I am buying like 2peasinapodcast.com or something.
Yeah, we'll get
buy that
the
web
domain.
domain.
Get that
It
domain.
is, yeah. It's a real.
What
it's
do
a
they
real
do?
podcast.
Can you read
There's
the
a couple.
description? Can you read the description of one of them?
Well, I mean, do we want to promote someone else's podcast, Crispy?
Yeah, why not? This is fun. People like
It's
it when we're a bit
podcast as they
loosey-goosey.
chat to each other about parenting multiples with disabilities and additional needs. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm happy promoting that. That sounds lovely.
Yeah. Intriguing. So there you go. It exists.
Wow.
But you should listen to us
Sweet.
first and then listen
Yes,
to
yes. Get through this episode, and then we can all go over
Get
to
through
Two
it.
Peas in
It's
a
a challenge,
Podcast.
but get through it.
Yeah, we're just gonna get. I know. It is a challenge. Okay, Troy, why do you not like Fear Her?
Because I don't like it.
Fair enough. I have a very similar argument to you.
There you go. Okay, do you want a jokey answer first or a serious answer?
I'll take the jokey first.
I don't like David Tennant with his chest hair showing.
Okay.
Why was he not wearing a shirt? Why
Counterpoint.
was the Forest of Dean suddenly poking out by his neck?
Counterpoint. I like it.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And that's a short. Okay, so I want to see that in my short speeches. You being like,
fine.
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
it's
he
good.
does.
It's good. No, seriously, it's such a strange episode. Like, there's a decent premise to it, but it's like it's one of the only episodes of Doctor Who where I feel like it ends about 15 minutes before it does, and then carries on, or 10, 15 minutes. Like that weird moment where like everyone comes back from being drawings, and then suddenly, the dad's coming out of the upstairs cupboard, and then it's just kind of like a nothing threat that gets removed again. I mean, it's strange. The pacing is very bad. I think that's the best summation of it. It's a very badly paced episode with a decent concept that just doesn't work. Although Fingers on Lips was very funny, and the meme of you taking a council axe from a council van and reporting it to the council. I love
That's
that.
iconic. That is
Yeah.
iconic. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't feel very linear. It doesn't feel very straight. Ever since I was a kid, I think I've told this on the podcast before, but the first time I watched Love and Monsters and Fear Her were in the back of my parents' car, and they had one of those portable DVD players.
Yep.
That we just got it installed, and we were so excited to test it out because we had a 12-hour road trip to Canberra, and we were like, all right, we're gonna. Or maybe it was a 15-hour. I can't remember. We were in there for a long time. So
Yeah.
the first time I watched Love and Monsters and Fear Her was in the back of the car, and my sister loved Fear Her, and I was like, that was shocking. I didn't enjoy that. And then
And now you no longer have a sister.
And now my sister's no longer in my life. No, she's fine, and we're very much still talking.
He does fear her, though.
Yes, she is the one I fear. Absolutely.
That's it, right, everyone. I've been Red Archer Live. Good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we have a clapping.mp3 added in here, please? Editing Crispy. Crispy's been doing the editing for these, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if we actually revealed this, but we've switched
We
juices.
briefly mentioned it in the comeback. Yeah, it's exciting.
That. Yeah, I'm Mr. Distribution now. You know.
Yeah,
that's my fancy new
gosh.
nickname.
That's a good DJ name.
Mr. DJ Distribution.
DJ Distribution.
There you go. That's me, baby. There we go. We play exclusively Pale Waves Bastille on the weekend. Job done.
Oh no. Next caller. Next caller.
What have we got? What's the next bad episode or worst episode?
Oh,
what are we going for?
Oh, jeez Louise. We have the Beast Boss, and then we have Reese the Beast. There are too many beasts.
What if we
phone
betray
line.
the Beast Boss this week and listen to Reese the Beast instead and see what the Beast competitor has to say?
Okay, here's Reese
I don't think Beast
the
Boss
Beast.
will like that, but we'll listen to you next week, maybe.
Here we go. 3, 2,
What's Reese got to say?
1. Hello?
So what's the worst episode of Doctor Who? Heaven Sent. I'm joking. No, it isn't. Fear Her, that's really boring and not very good. Haunts of Nine-One, although that is quite laughably bad. Legend of the Sea Devils is one I really do not like. I know this is longer than 30 seconds and I apologise, but yeah, it's really bad.
You will perish for the longer than 30-second message.
No.
You
Reese
owe
is
us
fine.
£1,000 for every second over it. Therefore, you owe us £8,000. Please
oh my
inbox it
gosh.
to redarcherlive@hotmail.com. That's my YouTube email to send it directly to me, not to Crispy.
I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that's
Legend of the Sea
appropriate at all.
Devils. Does that not feel like a bit of a cop out to you, Crispy? Is that just me?
No, I don't think it's a cop out. I think Reese has a point. It's a bit of a mess of an episode. It's a bit of a mess of an episode, especially in the edit. I think that stands out for me.
Yeah.
That just is like, how did this get past? It reeks of post-production problems. I think I would hate to be in the editing suite of Legend of the Sea Devils. I can't imagine what that would have looked like, but it was a pandemic episode, and it was... it feels like a Series 13 reject in some form, but the true nature of that episode, the true beauty of that episode, is the 13 and Yaz stuff. Absolutely. So I think there is a bit more heart in that episode than, say, some of the other worst episodes we're going to hear on this list. But I agree, it is a mess of an episode.
It's a bit messy, but I do think it's a bit too easy of a target, in my opinion. I think a lot of people really rail on it, and I don't think it's awful. Like, I don't know.
You don't think
I think
it's
there's other episodes you
orphan?
could pick. Yeah, if you're putting, like, look, maybe I can make the argument that Orphan 55 is, like, as I've aged and got more wise, maybe it's not as hideous as everyone says. It's still a pretty bad episode, but I would definitely say that's worse than Legend of the Sea Devils. I would say that with Chest. Legend of the Sea Devils
with
has
Chest?
a premise that keeps me interested. I'm invested in the story, even if in the edit it's not quite solid and, like, there are some bits that feel a bit missing or out of place. Orphan 55 is just, we're in a car, now we're on the ground, now we're underground. Oh, it's Earth. Oh, there's a mother that apparently doesn't care about a kid. Now she cares about a kid. Benny, where's my Benny? No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
So no,
Wow.
while Crispy agrees with you, Reese, you haven't convinced me. You have succeeded to only 50% of your potential. So
Well,
try again.
This is where your suggestion would come in handy. It'd be nice if we had them on the line for like a second more. Be like, hang on,
Imagine.
elaborate.
Yeah, 'cause I joke,
elaborate.
obviously, Reese, but yeah, imagine if we had people calling in live. Like, I don't know how we'd work that. Maybe on a live stream at some point we could do that.
There's ways and means. I think. I don't know. I don't think we are using Riverside to its full potential just yet. But they are updating this thing every day.
that's-
Just today, they updated the layout of this entire thing. What are you thinking? Oh, maybe we can discuss after. Troy's got his thinking
with
face.
Riverside. Oh, that's given me. That's hatched a plan. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh.
Troy's thinking very hard. And you know what happens with Troy's Thoughts? They're on YouTube, and you should all subscribe because Troy's been uploading to Troy's Thoughts a bit more, and he's got an excellent video coming out very, very soon. I'm not going to reveal it, but you could
Have I?
you could tease it. Yeah, you said you were working on something. You were cooking something up.
It came out about an hour ago.
Oh, it's out, everyone.
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Go on.
That's why I have Sonic and Shadow plushies on my bed right now. It's about the new Sonic Shadow game.
Oh, wow, everyone. Wow.
Yeah. At the time of recording, I'm 4 subscribers off 1,000. So even though hopefully by the time you hear this, it'll be over that, go and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
okay,
please.
Crispy, next caller.
Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay, here
Pressure,
we
pressure.
go. We have
Ding, 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 ding,
we
ding.
got we've got look at you see these names in front of me? You see these names in front of me?
I do see these names for you, but they're again for the Bi-Generation episode, so you might want to scroll back down.
Oh, here we go. Gosh, I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Way too ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Crispy wants to talk about Bi-Generation, it's clear, but tune in next week as we talk about that and how it's actually not as bad as Crispy thinks it is. All right, so who's next?
we'll see. We'll see.
Who's next? Who's next?
Okay,
Crispy?
we've
I
got-
think. What about long-time fan, first episode listener Minusich?
Okay, what's the menu situation today?
Oh, nice.
The Crimson Horror. In theory, I should actually quite like this one because it's a mystery surrounding the Paternoster gang in one of their last regular appearances on the show. But it is so boring, things just sort of keep happening and they're never explained. At one point, the Doctor's red, jumps into a cupboard, then jumps out of the cupboard fine, and they all sort of just move on. And no one ever talks about how terrible it is because everyone has forgotten about it completely.
Wow, the Crimson Aura is getting some hate
That
today.
voice message was the speak pipe horror.
The what? The what? The speak pipe horror.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that
They do
interesting.
explain why he loses. Like he's put in a capsule that like de-reds him. I don't know what the term was for it, but they do explain that.
Wow, if we put you in that, you'd just be arch alive. Come on, that's pretty good. Come on, Troy, be with me, buddy. Be with me. Thank you, everyone. My name's Crispy. I'll be here all week. Thank
Don't
you.
you dare add applause in. Don't you
Thank
dare.
you.
Don't you dare.
I'm editing this. I'm editing this.
Oh, you
Wow.
win. That was really good.
Oh, dearie. We have fun. We have fun on a Thursday night, Friday morning. That's how we do things. It's how we do things. Subscribe, everyone. Subscribe
so
for more
dumb.
quality content.
Tom. It's so Tom.
Oh, no. Oh, dearie. Oh, dearie. I hope everyone's having fun.
My face has gone red. I need to go into the machine
Yeah,
to get rid of
please
it.
go into the capsule.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Crimson Horror is fun. I do think, and I think there's an interesting thing to be said here, Crispy, and I want to know your thoughts on it. If you're not enjoying an episode of Doctor Who, do you think it's fair to say that sometimes you may zone out of it and therefore miss bits of explanation and then later accuse the episode of not explaining things very well? Because I swear I've had that happen to me once or twice with an episode that I've watched and gone, wasn't as major on that, and then when I've rewatched it and picked things up and gone, oh, it's that, and oh, okay, and then appreciated it more. Like, what do you
Yes.
think about that?
I agree with you. Well, I think that's with any piece of media. If I'm not enjoying it, I will be zoning out and then miss out on key details, which will lessen my experience for
And you
sure.
can find out more about that when we upload our special episode of The Marvels tomorrow. So get excited, everyone.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I don't think he's realised the date. At the time of recording this, it's not tomorrow, but The Marvels hits Disney Plus on February 7th, and this episode goes up on February 6th. So,
Oh my word! Oh my word!
So if you want to hear Crispy talk about something he wasn't that major on, get ready for
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
the best bit, it was recorded in person.
Oh,
So,
Oh my
You know,
gosh. Yeah, go and check
even
that
cooler.
out.
Even
I
cooler. Yeah, go check
can't
that
remember
out.
the whole discussion, but I think it was interesting.
It was it was a fun chat. It was a very fun chat. It was intriguing to get your thoughts and to, as always, tell you why you're wrong and I'm right, and then laugh maniacally.
Well, tune into that, everyone.
Cheers,
It's
I'll
going
drink
to
to
be
that.
fun. Beautiful. Hang on, don't have too much of that, mate. We've got heaps. We've got
Yeah,
heaps.
no, we haven't heard. Oh no.
Who do you want to hear?
Stan the Slitheen, save me. Please say Orphan 55.
Here we go. Slitheen. What have we got?
Hello, Troy and Crispy. It is I, Stanfel Foch Passamede Slovene here, and I'm going to tell you that my least favourite episode of New Who is probably the return of Doctor Mysterio, because Doctor Who and superheroes, they're not things that should ever mix, and it's one of the few episodes I've never rewatched because it's just too bad. Also, could I use this as a clip for my YouTube channel? Thanks. Bye.
Sure.
No.
You can do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? But make sure you tell everyone to subscribe to Red Archer Live.
No,
And
subscribe
Troy's
to
thoughts.
you. Stan, everyone should subscribe to Slitheen.
That's
Thank
two
you.
other content creation thing, three if you count me, that we've told people to go and listen to
Lots
now.
of, lots
we
of
need to keep
different,
our viewers.
lots of different call to actions this week. Not for us.
Oh my goodness. Interesting
Interesting.
opinion though.
I'll
I
go.
disagree.
I'm gonna go.
Go, Crispy.
right now
Go.
with some hot thoughts on the return of Doctor Mysterio.
Crispy's thoughts?
Crispy's thoughts. I agree in the sense that this is an episode I rewatched the least because I remember the first time I watched this, I was not that impressed at all. And I've rewatched it since and still am not very impressed at all. I think that Nardole and Capaldi are fantastic in the episode. I think they are
Yep.
really good. But the whole American superhero thing, it doesn't work. I can see that maybe on paper it was meant to be something more, and I think Stephen Moffat's been like a big fan of Superman, or that's at least what he said in the interviews back in the day when they had to talk about this episode. But
When he was
I don't know.
contractually obliged.
When
to.
he was contractually obliged to hype up this one, yeah. I just think it's a very forgettable episode and not like probably quite far down on my Christmas tier list ranking. Troy?
That's very valid. Like, is it worse than the Husbands of River song? Yes. Is Mr. Huffle, the squeezy toy, annoying? Yes, despite it having, like, at least a tiny bit of payoff at the end of the episode. But, yeah, 12 and Nardole work really well. Peter Capaldi is on top form. Like, he always is. But, like, especially latter 12, I just think is great. I don't mind the ghost thing, the Superman knockoff. Like, it's a bit cheesy and a bit on the nose and quite clearly just a bit of a pastiche, but I think it works fine. And I like just getting some, like, decent, like, some 12 moments that you can just quote. And I love that little scene at the end with, what's the Harmony Shoal guy pointing the gun at 12 and being like, you think this is over? He just goes, yep, snaps the gun out of his hands like, your bomb's gone, your plan's finished. Oh, look, there's a unit come to take down your head office. Like, it's just, like, little iconic moments like that I love. And whenever an episode has one of those, I'm like, oh, I have a soft spot. And also, Capaldi just having that whole bit of being like, oh, I'm used to spying in on aliens, and he just stood there eating sushi, just like, listen to their plan. Like, he's just having a good little time. Like, there's some really good energy in that episode. Like, it's not objectively a great one, but there's bits in it. And also, Capaldi saying he flooded the stuff downstairs with Pokemon. It's a very
Yeah.
dated reference to Pokemon Go, but I just...
Very dated reference,
Yeah.
but at the time I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I just like the idea, like, for me, when an episode is weaker, it can be elevated by bits in it that I find really funny, and that's a good example of an episode like that. Like, objectively speaking, it's not an amazing episode, but there's quite a few bits I can think of and be like, oh yeah, that's good.
Fine.
There you go.
That's all I'm going to say. Fine.
We're never
Troy?
going to agree, me and Chris. Actually, no, we already did. We agreed earlier on
Yeah.
Fear Her. That's it. We reached our agreement quota.
We weirdly had the exact same thought. I wasn't expecting you to say that. I don't know what I was expecting you to
yeah.
say for your least favorite. I don't know. You like a lot of things, Troy.
Exactly.
You like a lot of
I
things.
didn't like Echo. Have we talked about that on the podcast?
No. I
No.
haven't seen it, but you
And I'm
committed.
Yeah, I'm in the minority, so maybe it's one that Crispy should watch, but apparently I'm one of the only people who just did not like that show.
Wow.
So the people who say you like everything, it's rare, but there are things I dislike. So it does happen.
Hey, do you want to see what George dislikes?
It better be all from 55, man. I am not chugging cordial. I regret saying it now.
Here we go. Hello? George, are you there?
I think the worst episode of Doctor Who has to be Blink. No, I'm going to go for it's all for 55.
Oh, let's go! Oh my gosh, that could have been better timed.
George, I will drink to that, my friend. Thank you kindly.
I can't believe that. I
Oh,
can't
do you know,
believe
I
the
was
timing
really,
of
in
that.
my head, I was coming to terms with the fact that I was going to have to chug the drink. I was like, oh no, it's coming. But no, George saved the day.
Wow.
My boy.
That was almost poetic. That was a beautiful
was.
moment for the podcast.
Do you know what this is? This is peak Who's There. You should subscribe now.
Oh, great, Troy. You could do a call to action if you want right now.
I
If
should.
you just-
And to be fair, we should have done a call to action earlier in the episode for our Patreon, and not because we love making money, but we do. But it's important that we use it to fund the podcast stuff. I should say that. I don't like to make too many overly sarcastic jokes. However, on the Patreon, we have just put out 3 60th anniversary special watch-alongs back to
Wow.
back at the end of January. So if you want to watch The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Giggle all alongside us with your own reference footage, you can do that by subscribing to the middle tier of the Patreon, also known as the David Tennant is my dad tier. Which is a great name. If you are new to the podcast, it's an ongoing joke that Crispy thinks David Tennant is his dad. He's, as to quote the 10th Doctor, he's deluded, but let him live in that world.
I've got his chest hair.
So who else have we got in the way of callers? Is there anyone left? Anyone to finish off with? What have we got?
Oh, I don't know,
I feel like
man.
we've barreled through the call list this week. We're like, we're speedy this week, my boy.
I purely think that's because we agreed on something for once. So we're like, oh.
That's true. That's very true. Do you know what I need?
What do you need, mate?
I need some well-edited audio submissions. And I don't know if he's going to deliver, but Conor McRae, whenever he submitted his things via Patreon, had been very good. I don't know if he can
Okay.
do it on Riverside, not Riverside, on SpeakPipe, but I have faith in good content from him anyway. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, let's give it a go. Connor, what have you got to say?
What have you got?
So I have a few worst Doctor Who episodes ever, but, they're all the common ones like Love and Monsters, Fear Her, and In the Forest of the So I'll just say this. The Lie of the Land is the most disappointing episode ever. No, hey, Capaldi, don't come at me. When you promise me a dystopian Sound of Drum style story, and then you give me that crap, I'm allowed to be disappointed.
Just shut up.
No, I'm not going to shut up. Why did you regenerate, Capaldi?
Do you know, even if I disagree with an opinion, just the way he makes those makes me want to agree.
Yeah, well done.
Well, it
Connor.
could do with less of the foul language that Crispy has had to censor in 2 places there, didn't you, Crispy?
Oh, we're doing the second one too?
I'll let you judge that. That's on Crispy.
It's
That's on
so
Crispy.
fine. It's so fine.
You evil villain, Connor. We do not swear in this flipping household.
Lie of the Land. That's an episode I haven't thought about for a while. I think that the ending is atrocious. And we've talked about this. I know you're fine with it. But I think the episode is incredibly well directed and so cool. But the cop-out regeneration was weird. I think it's just
agreed.
it's a very strange episode. I think Toby Whithouse penned that one, and I don't think it's his strongest one. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Disappointing would be the way I put it, but maybe not the worst for me. Troy,
It's not a revolutionary. Pardon me. Just in case, again, I always think ahead about Crispy making his little shorts. I'm like, this could be a good short, so I don't want to be burping in the middle of it. We got to think about our content quality. No, seriously, it's not a revolutionary take to say that the regeneration scene in that episode is terrible, but it's also, I don't think, revolutionary to say that was something that was clearly written into the episode because Stephen Moffat went, I want something cool for the trailer, or somebody said that. Like to me, that it feels like that's there, and you look at that and go, that's there, so it could be in a trailer to show off a regeneration. That doesn't fit the story very well. Like him trying to prove that, she's on their side. I can get the idea behind it, but it sounds like you're trying to write yourself out of why Capaldi's regenerating. And it somewhat works, but not greatly, in my opinion. It works less than the ending. We have debated this before, as Crispy said. I personally think it's perfectly fine. The idea that the monks manipulate history, they manipulate fact into what they believe is true. So if you flood their minds with something that isn't fact, it's based on your own imagination, but something that you've imagined so vividly and so strongly that it's of such a powerful image it can overwhelm them. I do think that lands. I honestly do. And I understand people who don't, but I like that. I will
I-
agree that it's the worst episode of the Monk trilogy, though. I'll put that out there. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, I don't know.
No, come on. Extremis is absolutely amazing. That whole that is such a great slow burn.
Extremis is not included in this conversation. We love Extremis in this household.
I
She
really
is
like Pyramid
glorious.
End of
She
the
is
World.
beautiful.
I like Pyramid at the End of the World. I like the idea that, for me, a lot of it is partially because it comes down to you're expecting this to be solved, and then it isn't. And I think it's built up really well to suddenly twist it and be like, no, this isn't the end of the story. And like it also is a really great way, I think, to write out of the Doctor's blindness and be like, no, this is how we're going to fix it. But also, the monks are sticking round, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad episode, but I don't think Pyramid at the End of the World is as well directed as Lie of the Land. I think Lie of the Land is a beautiful looking episode, and there's just one shot in the Pyramid at the End of the World that really irks me, is when it's like, and there's like no music or anything. It's when the monks like kind of appear in the fighter jet or whatever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That just, it sticks out like a sword. Like the music just cuts and then it goes vroomf, and they're just sat there in the captain's seat.
Yeah.
Man, that's
no, I'm
funny.
with you on that.
Oh gosh, but I don't think that it might. But I don't know. Monk Trilogy is a funny one.
Last caller.
Monk
One
Trilogy
more
is a funny one. All right, who do you want? We got
Who
so
have
many.
we got left?
We have.
I think
the original.
We have. There's two left. There's the Beast Boss and there's Mr. Scarlo.
Oh, we could probably get the both and then wrap it up for the day.
I disagree. I think we leave the Beast Boss out on purpose to annoy him.
Oh no. Okay, here we go. Mr.
Let's see what Scarlo says and see how hot of his take is and go from there.
Okay, here we go.
My least favourite episode of Doctor Who is The Eaters of Light. I've never been one for Series 10, but even this is just a complete low. Like, I've never been so bored watching an episode of Doctor Who. It's set in Scotland. I should enjoy it. The only redeemable parts of this episode is the main cast and the scene with Missy at the end. I have not read the novelisation yet, but it must be better than the absolute hogwash of an episode this is. I'm just sorry, it's just terrible.
I am sure everything you said about that episode was no doubt accurate. I agree that Liters of Light is a bad episode, but if you come for Series 10, you come for that series and say you're not big on it, you lose me. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, I didn't realize you liked Eaters of Light that much.
Yeah, when you looked at me into my headphones, I was like, he's not realised why I took those off.
No. Well, I've got the biggest soft spot for Series 10 as well, but this is an
phenomenal.
absolute
If you dislike it, then I dislike you.
Low light in Series 10. Eaters of Light. I don't know why. I don't know why it feels off. It feels slow. It feels incredibly slow.
It feels like a classic Doctor Who writer wrote a modern episode.
Oh.
I say that
Weirdly
with
apt.
I'm joking. No,
Do you know who the writer was?
I don't remember her name, but I know she was a classic Doctor Who writer.
I think she wrote Survival. I can't remember. That's embarrassing. We're a Doctor Who
If we fight like crows, we will die like crows.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
What? Can you explain the plot to me? Because I fell
Not
asleep to
really.
this episode. This is the episode that ruined
Celtic
me.
people are guarding a burial place, and it turns out the burial place is a portal to the world with strange monsters that can come through. And then some woman called Car sacrifices herself to go and keep the portal shut, and that's why crows say Car.
Car.
Which...
Wow.
It's that kind of cheesy stuff that Doctor Who normally does quite well, but it just doesn't land there for me.
It's Rona Munro wrote that.
So nothing against her, but the episode itself is The Eaters of...
Less than good.
Exactly. In the Forest of the Night, in the Forest of the Blah. Eaters of Light, Eaters of Blah. Why has no one done that for Eaters of Light?
I don't know. It's a bit more foul than Forest.
Forest is worse than Eaters, definitely.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Yeah. What? No one said in the forest yet. Oh no. Yeah, they did. Connor said it. All right. Do you know what? It's not Christmas, but I'm feeling festive. Give the Beast Boss his 5 seconds of fame. What's his message?
Okay, here we go. The Beast
Let's close it
Boss.
off with him. What have you got for us?
Hello.
I mean, it's got to be off in 55, surely.
Oh! He could have saved you much earlier, Troy.
Imagine if George had not submitted a message. We left him to last and it ended on that. That would have been so much of a better cliffhanger there and been like, oh no, he doesn't have to chug his drink. Oh, brilliant. Well, you know what, Beast Boss? I'm sorry I misjudged you. As a wise purple chin man once said, perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Wow. So apt. So apt.
There you go.
And some would say that Thanos was a Beast Boss, wasn't he?
How?
I don't know. Do you reckon Thanos treated his employees nicely?
Maybe.
Do you reckon they have, like, dental?
I think they had low standards, so I think he delivered to their low standards.
Oh, fair
it's all about
enough.
perspective, Crispy, you know?
Yeah.
When you look like Squidward, you don't really need much in the way of dental, I feel like.
True, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the benefits were to work with Thanos. What was the incentive? What was the salary? I want to know.
To not be
all
killed
of
by
these.
him, I would imagine, would be a big plus.
It's very threatening, isn't it? It's quite threatening. Mm.
And on that note, thank you very much for listening to episode 94 of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast.
Woohoo!
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing, that is. Well, you know what, everyone? We've talked about the worst episode of Doctor Who today, but I certainly hope this wasn't the worst episode of this podcast. I hope you loved it.
It might be.
It won't be.
Okay.
If for
What's
nothing,
the worst?
no other reason than your terrible Arch Alive joke. That is... it had no right being as funny as it was. It had no right to be that funny. It had no right.
So, I've forgotten my train of thought now. I've just got me thinking about how funny I was this episode.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and click follow on any audio platforms that you support us on. You can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Who'sThereDW and join the Discord server via the link in the description on YouTube and through our link tree. And keep an eye out on all of our socials, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube community post, and Discord, because on all four of those places, we post about each new call-in. And we are getting ahead of the game. At the time of recording this, we've already taken all the calls for the next episode. So they will not necessarily be in sync with the episodes you see, but everything will see the light of day. So make sure that whenever we put out a call, you call in.
Yeah, please. You know, it's
That wasn't
nice.
even scripted. That was just me winging that. That was pretty good, that.
You did a sensational job. You did a
Thank you.
sensational
Can we have
job.
a third clapping.mp3 put into the file just for
Oh
that?
my gosh. So much clapping, such little
I'm
time.
just bullying you now at this point. Let's end the episode so Crispy can finish the edit. So thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, it is goodbye from Mr. Crispy.
Bye.
It's goodbye from me. Goodbye. See you all next week. We're planning to, as we should say, because, you know, things can change, but we might well be talking about Bi-Generation.
Bye, bye, bye.
So until then, it is bye-bye. Alan Z, baby.